Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only AR Legends. And yeah, guys, today I am back with another series for you guys, which is going to be what if Naruto was neglected by his family and had the power of destruction. So, yeah, guys, it is going to be really OP of a series. So, hopefully, you guys will like it. And yeah, guys, don't worry, I will upload the next part. What if Naruto was neglected and had the power of Jiren today? So, who knows, it could even be the last part of that series, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that as well. So yeah guys, let us start the video. But before starting that, I would like to make a request to all of you guys who are watching this video that if you guys have not subscribed to my channel, or if you guys are new to the channel, please guys do so. It would be really helpful to me, as I want to reach 13k as soon as possible, and it would be great help to me by you guys if you guys were to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, guys, I have also put the link of my Instagram within the description below. Follow me on Instagram, and yeah, I have also put the link of my other Naruto channel within the description below. So please watch those videos as well. As today I will upload many videos on it as well, like what if Naruto was neglected and was taken by the Ususuki clan. So yeah, guys, it will be a good series. So please watch that as well. I will put the link within the description below. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it. So yeah, guys, as for the next part, the like goal is going to be, let's see about it, 200 likes and 80 comments. Do that and I shall upload the next part of this series today. Who knows? But as soon as possible. So without any further ado, let us start the video. Cosmos is made up of multiverse, as there are many universes present in our multiverse, but in each universe there is at least one kind of force that dominate all the other forces. The example of such forces could be considered as the speed force, the force of time and space, the force of power, and so on and on. But one force remains dominant in every universe, in every multiverse. Even the other forces fear this force and power, as this force is none other than the force of destruction. Even all the, you can say, creation experience destruction from one point to another. After all, there is a saying, before creation comes destruction. But unlike the other forces which has chosen their champions or heirs to their power, such as the speed force, the force of time and space, and the force of power in different universes, they have at least one champion. But for the destruction, there is no such thing. But it has to choose its heir soon enough, and who knows who that heir could be. Well, who I am kidding. After all, this is a Naruto series, so yeah, you guys know. So let us start our video and our story, as it starts within the council room, as Minato Namikaze had a defeated look on his face. He has just fight off against the Nine Tails, and his wife has given birth to three children, but now he thought that it would be over. He has sealed away the power of the QB inside of his children Menma and Naruto, but the soul had to be separated so that it could not regain its power or take control of the new Jinchuriki. So the third Hokage decided to seal off the soul inside of his other child, which was none other than Naruto Uzumaki, as his, you can say, the oldest son, which had blonde hair just like him, while his sibling had red hair. So they decided to seal off the chakra inside of the children who had the dominant Uzumaki genes. But that was not the problem. The problem arises when he had to inform the council what happened to the QB. The moment he said that the soul and the consciousness of the QB was sealed inside of Naruto, the whole chamber erupted into chaos. The council members were, to his utter shock and disbelief, were demanding the head of his newborn child, as he was pretty angry at that. But he was losing, you can say, support quickly. Even his closest friends, such as Shikaku Nara and other council members, has lost many clans members. Shikaku Nara has just lost his little brother to the attack, as he was not, you can say, in the right mind of thinking, and he was not getting support which he wanted. And the Danzo was demanding the Jinchurikis were to be trained by him. He had to do something, as Then finally, Koharu and Hamura decided to look towards each other and nodded as they said, well, we would like to take a small break of this council meeting. After some time, we will discuss the matter again. As the council members, especially the civilian council member, were fuming at this point, but nodded nonetheless as Minato was looking pretty tired at this point. As the council member decided to leave, as Minato had a saddened look on his face, he could not even blame his friends. After all, many of his friends has lost loved ones in this attack, and he was not going to get this support anytime soon in this matter. As Minato decided to take a small break to his office room as he teleported, as the council, especially the elders, decided to follow him to the Hokage office. As Minato teleported inside of the office pretty tired, wanted to have a bit of rest, but to his surprise, Jiraiya, his sensei, was already present there, along with Tsunade. As Tsunade had a sad expression on her face. After all, her sensei, the third Hokage, has just died in the attack. As Jiraiya looked towards Minato as he said, Minato, so what happened in the council room? As Minato sighed as he decided to explain the situation, you already know, Sensei. As Jiraiya nodded with a sigh as he said, well, Minato, I know that this is not the right, you can say, time, but I have to inform something. After all, it is said by the great Elder Toad, and the slugs has also given the same premonition. That is why Tsunade is here, as Tsunade steeled her emotions and nodded at that. This is pretty serious, Minato, as Minato raised an eyebrow at that, as before that a poof of smoke appeared in the room as the Monkey King Enma also has appeared in the room as Minato raised an eyebrow, Monkey King Enma, as Enma nodded, well, Jirai has sent me a message as he wanted to confirm something and I am here to tell him what our great sage has told me. As Jiraiya nodded at that as he decided to explain, well, Minato, the great old toad sage as well as the sages of all the summoning animals have confirmed it as a child has been born at the night of the great destruction who shall have the power to harness the ultimate destruction of this world, either shall bring the new era of this world or this world shall face the wrath of destruction itself. As Minato was now pretty shocked and confused at the same point, it has never happened in the history that all the great toad sages, all the sages of the different animal clans have given such a premonition. As the great Enma also nodded at that. This is the same premonition done by the great sage of our clan. As Tsunade nodded at that, as Jiraiya decided to speak up, Minato, I think that it is either Menma and Naruko. As this surprises Minato, what do you mean by that, sensei? As Jiraiya explained, well, both of them contains the power of the Kyuubi and it is known to the world that the Kyuubi is a walking disaster. It is a very beast of destruction and chaos. So, since Menma and Naruko possess its power, it is possible that they are the ones. So, we have to tread very carefully. All the sages has given the same dream. So, we have to protect them. Otherwise, this world, this village, no, this whole world shall know the power of destruction and we simply cannot have that. As Minato started to think about the matter, what about the matter of Naruto at the moment, Sensei? You know that the civilian as well as the shinobi members are demanding his head. I simply cannot do that as Kushina would not, and if Kushina were to hear that, she will not like it. As Jiraiya sighed, and but before he could say anything, as the door opened, as it was none other than Kushina, who was there along with Menma and Ruko. It seemed that Naruto was pretty weak at this point. Somehow he was infected by the some of the chakra of the Kyuubi, so he was being taken care in the hospital while Menma and Naruko were healthy. As Kushina stepped in, Minato, I have heard everything. Though I agree with Jiraiya sensei. It seems that Naruto is not, you can say, doing so well. He's somehow infected with a bit of Kyuubi's chakra and he is recovering at the moment. But we simply cannot allow the council to do things to Naruto. He's our son as well. I agree to Jiraiya that we have to train Menma and Ruko when the time comes and they have to be shown, you can say, a lot of love so that they do not go to the path of destruction. As Jiraiya nodded, well, Kushina, I knew that you would understand. As Tsunade gave her a smile as well, as Minato put his hand to his hair, as I started to ruffle it, wondering what he should do. At this point, at one point, his one son is to be demanded by the council, and his other two children are so important to the world. At this point, he had to do something, otherwise nothing will go to the, you can say, the way they wanted. At Jiraiya's side, Minato, I know that it could be hard for you to hear, but I think that you should make a deal with the council at this point. As you already know, the people of Konoha does not know what happened to the Kyobi, but it is only the matter of time. They will put their attention to Menma and Naruto after hearing that they have the Kyobi inside of them. So then it will cause them to grow up being hated, and it could cause the premonition to trigger itself. Who knows what could happen by the hatred of the villagers. We have to redirect it, as much as I hate to say it. But it seemed that Naruto, being the older brother, had to take the most of the burden. After all, he does possess the soul of the QB. Minato and Kushina were shocked to hear that. But before they could say anything, as Tsunade decided to speak up, Kushina, you have to understand the sacrifices has to be made. Look at me. I lost my sensei. I lost my brother. I lost my fiance. But I am still here. So, sacrifices has to be made, Minato. You're the Hokage. You have to understand it at this point. Your other children are more important than that other kid. Who knows? He's infected with the Cube's chakra. He might not even survive. If you were to, and he's just a kid, the council would not do much to him at this point. And who knows, the hatred might disappear in the year. You have to make a sacrifice now, Minato, because it is the time, and you are the Hokage. As Minato was taken back by the speech, as Tsunade was thinking, as Kushina was also thinking about it as she looked toward her precious children Menma and Ruko. Naruto is already too weak, who knows, he might not even survive, even though she felt sad by that thought, but she had to protect the world as well, and Tsunade was right, sacrifices had to be made. As Minato thought it for some time as he nodded, but I will not allow the council to kill him, though I will allow some of the, you can say, revenge to pass by, and will not take much action against those people if when Naruto grows up. And if he were to, as he gulped a little, he felt a lot sad about it if he were to survive to that age. As Tsunade nodded at that, as Jiraiya put a hand to Minato's shoulder. Don't worry, Minato, everything will turn out fine. And after that, Minato announces that how Naruto is the Jinchuriki of the soul of the Kyuubi, and Menma and Naruto only has the power of the Kyuubi inside of them to the villagers, as he gave the leeway to the, you can say, the civilian council members to have their bit of revenge when Naruto will be older, as they were more than happy to take the advantage of that. And now let us have a time skip. A 8-year-old kid was running for his life throughout the village, as this kid has blonde hair, as he had a pale skin on his, you can say, features. He was pretty, you can say, in shorter terms, weak. His body was infected with a bit of Cube's chakra, but the soul of the Kyuubi tried to absorb it, but the seal was preventing the chakra to enter inside of the seal, and therefore it was lingering around the coils of Naruto, infecting him, thus making him a lot weaker. But Naruto was a different kid. He was a lot serious. He got, you can say, the chakra of the Kyuubi not only infected his body but also his mind. It was, you can say, he felt angry, and a lot sooner he saw the hatred of the villagers while growing up, the neglect of his parents who were always focusing on Menma and Ruko and training them to control the power of the Kyuubi and all that. It always made him angry. He felt angry at himself because of his supposed weakness, his parents' neglect, when they were the one responsible for his situation. He was born healthy, but no, his parents had to deal with the power of the Kyuubi, and they did not even seal the Kyuubi properly, thus making him like this. And after that, his parents always ignored him when he came back house, always bleeding when he had several broken bones. One day he came back to the home. He had a broken arm and he was bleeding badly from his forehead, but his mother simply looked towards him and then started to, you can say, prepare ramen for his little brother by not even looking twice towards him. That day it shattered his heart. His siblings always mocked him, saying that how he deserved it and how he was a monster and they were the savior of this world and the things like that. After all, their godfather Jiraiya of the Sonin was always telling them how great they actually were and how they are the one who are going to the save the world, and they were the children of the destiny and things like that. All of that felt a, you can say, put a hatred in Naruto's heart, the hatred which has no word to describe it, as he wanted to kill them all. Yes, that much hatred he had. At some point he always, you can say, started to wonder what would have the life be if he was healthy, if he had the power of the QB. His siblings had this accursed soul inside of them, but no, what he could do at this point, nothing. His siblings were enjoying a life, and he was the heir to the both of the clans, but he has lost it. He already knew that. His parents would choose his little siblings for that title, saying that how he was weak and things like that. The other bullshit they would, you can say, put on his face, and all the villagers once again laughed at him. And now today was his birthday and he was running for his damn life. All of those thoughts were going through his mind. He was angry, he was furious, he was sad, he was broken as he was at this point running. But he already knew that the shinobis who were chasing him were simply playing around with him. After all, they could catch him anytime soon, and he was already feeling, you can say, pretty fatigue all over his body. He was, you can say, breathing harshly at this point as he was trying to run, trying to live. And to his, you can say, surprise, suddenly the road in which he was running suddenly turned into a alley and the place was blocked. He suddenly realized it was a Genjutsu as he cursed under his breath as he looked back toward many masked shinobis as well as some other chonins and genins, some jonins, especially those red-eyed bastards, as how Naruto hated those Uchihas. He, the no word could describe how much he hated those bastards as he looked towards all of them, as now he was scared for his life as they were looking towards him with a smirk on their faces as one of the Uchiha decided to speak up. Well, demon. It seems that we have caught you, huh? Huh. Well, are you ready for your birthday present? As he bring out a kunai and started to channel a bit of lightning chakra into it as the sparks of lightning was coming from the kunai as Naruto was scared at this point as he tried to, you can say, push away as he looked towards them as he said, you cannot do that to me. I'm the son of the Hokage. But before he could complete the sentence, as the shinobi started to laugh as he looked towards them, the Hokage. And what will the Hokage do to us, huh? Haven't you realized, you little brat? Huh, well, he does not even realize it as he looked towards his fellow shinobis as they started to laugh, as well as the civilians. Yes, you are the son of the Hokage, but have you not realized it? He was the one who has allowed all of it, all that happened to all of your life to happen to you. Do you know why? Because he knows that you're a monster, a demon, and nothing more than that. As Naruto, at some level, already knew that, but hearing such words coming from these people after hearing that how his father knew everything but did not do anything and even allowed it to this point as to happen, all of it to him was really saddening. It is broke his heart as the Uchiha smirked as he said, "Well then, brat, are you ready for your present?" As he smirked towards his other shinobis who nodded as he quickly go through hand sign as he released his, you can say, technique towards Naruto as Naruto closes his eyes after 1 hour as Naruto was beaten to a pulp. As he was laying down, all the shinobis were still laughing as he had kunais embedded into his arm and, you can say, slammed it into the wall nearby. His face was hanging low, blood was coming from all over his body, his arm was burnt badly as the shinobis were laughing, but different things were going inside of Naruto's mind. He was floating into nothingness, as it was an empty place, as he was thinking of his life, as how all these things happened to him in his whole life. The people ignored him, spat at him, cursed him, beat him, and his parents always did not even care. The look on his mother's face, yeah, not even caring about it, looking towards him, his broken arm, his bleeding face, and she did not even look towards him and started to cook ramen for his little siblings, and how thinking that how his little siblings liked ramen and things like that. And all of it was coming to his mind as he grated his teeth. Was it all? Was he going to die like this? A weak, little pathetic kid who was unable to do anything to his predicament. The villagers who hated him, who beat him, all that. And he will be able to do nothing. He will never get his revenge on these villagers, on this damn village. No, this whole damn world. That was the thought going through in his mind as his parents who ignored him, his godfather, who's his godparents who favored his little siblings who always was showing off how great they were compared to him as he clenched his fist. No, this will not be it. This will not be his destiny. He will have his revenge. He will destroy them all. As those were the thoughts going through his mind. Yes, he will bring, you can say, destruction. As those were the thoughts, the word destruction. His eyes snapped open far into the multiverse as a purplish aura surrounded the elemental nations all of a sudden, as all the villagers and all the villages, you can say leaders, came out of their respective homes and offices as they looked into the sky as dark purple lightning was shining over the sky, and the dark aura has surrounded the whole elemental nations as Naruto's eyes snapped open as they were no longer their blue reddish form. No, they were dark purple. Suddenly, the shinobis who were laughing towards Naruto looked towards him in utter shock. The atmosphere of the village has already started to change as a aura of utter pure death and destruction has surrounded the whole village as Minato was looking toward the sky wondering what was actually going on, as unknown to him the force of destruction, the power of the destruction, the greatest force in the multiverse has chosen its heir, its champion, as the amount of hatred inside of Naruto, the desire for destruction has finally attracted the attention of the force itself, and it has chosen its heir. As Naruto's eyes snapped open, a purplish aura surrounded his body as all the kunais, all the bones suddenly started to destroy themselves as the kunais turned into nothingness. As Naruto looked towards them, even his hair started to change into pure purplish color. As Naruto looked towards them, only one word came to his mind and he said it out loud. And that word was the end of all the shinobis and all the, you can say, civilians present there. Hakai. As though that was the word, as Naruto screamed on the top of his, you can say, lungs, as the purplish energy surrounded all the shinobis and the civilians present there. Hakai! And that was all. As they screamed on the top of their lungs, trying desperately to get away from this energy, whatever it was, but it was not to be. It has surrounded all of them as they screamed, they cursed, they begged, but it was not to be. As they were erased from the very fabric of the reality and the multiverse itself. And Naruto simply looked towards them as he was feeling angry. He felt a desire for the utter destruction of each and everything in the each and every person present in this village. No, this whole goddamn nation, this whole world, as his eyes were dancing with purplish energy of the destruction itself. But after some time, his body started to, you can say, finally, all the bones that were broken started to come to their proper places, but this energy was simply too much for his 8-year-old weakened body, and soon the energy left him, and he has lost you can say, consciousness. He fell to the ground unconscious as Naruto has lost consciousness while all around the village, all the villagers, especially the council members, as well as Minato, Jiraiya, Tsunade, Kushina, felt a shiver going through their spines as if something has been, you can say, gone really, really wrong. While on the other hand, the great old Elder Sage snapped, his eyes open. He has a sweat growing through his forehead as he was wondering what kind of feeling it was. It felt like pure, utter, raw form of destruction itself. As he did not knew what was going on here, as he sent a message as the Ma and Pa Toad finally arrived as they looked toward the great Elder Toad Sage as he looked towards them. Bring Jiraiya immediately. As they looked towards each other, wondering what actually happened, but nonetheless obeyed the great old Elder Sage. As the Elder Sage was wondering what is going on in the elemental nations. While, on the other hand, all the clouds started to vanish into thin air as the people of the elemental nations were wondering what was actually going on and who could have done that and what kind of power it was. It was strange. It was not chakra, but they could feel something that was really wrong. The feeling which has spread across their respected villages and all around the world was that of pure utter, you can say, death and destruction. The you can say the feeling of hopelessness, knowing that nothing they could do could ever stop something like that, and it was their final, you can say, destiny. As that was the feeling that was going through the minds even the most hardened shinobis. As while on the other hand, the things has started to calm down as Minato was wondering what could have actually done that, as he decided to send a message to his sensei. After all, it is about time that they start to advance the training of Menma and Naruto even further. As he saw, tonight was the party of his children, as once again he felt a bit sad for Naruto, but all of these years he has made a distance between himself as well as his oldest child, knowing that what was the fate of Naruto when he was 4 years old, the beating started, and not as Minato hoped that people will calm down with time, but it did not stop, and now it has passed 4 years. He was now 8 years old as his style, and tonight he had taken the position of the clan heir of both the Uzumaki and Namikaze clan and gave it to Menma and Naruto respectively. And he sighed, but it had to be done. Naruto was not, you can say, simply, he was ill, in simple words, and he was not a useful Jinchuriki in terms of military assets. So he was not, as much as he hate to say it, as important as Menma and Naruto, and they were the children of destiny. He had to protect them so that when the time comes, they can fulfill the premonition and do not go on the path of pure death and destruction. After all, he was the Hokage and he has the duty to protect his village and the world. And unknown to him, he has already spun the wheels of the destiny itself, and soon enough he will face the consequences of his action. All of them would pay, and nothing they could do will ever be able to stop this force of nature, no, this force of the multiverse itself. And they have not the power, no, Biju, no Jinchuriki, not even the Jubi itself would be able to do anything to the power they have awoken, as there is no force greater than the force of destruction present within the known universe. Maybe beyond the universe, maybe, but not within the multiverse. As now, let us, you can say, start the afterward. As Naruto has woken up, he was feeling strange. He had a bit of headache. As he started to, you can say, woke up, it was dark, dead in the night. As he was feeling a bit of headache as he stood up on his legs, but something was wrong. He was feeling strange. No, he was feeling stronger as he looked towards his hand. He had a, you can say, but he started to think where he was. No. This was the same alley. As he started to look around, but no one was there. As he looked around to his clothes, they were shattered into tiny pieces. As he remembered, people had attacked him. They had beaten him to a pulp for hours, but he looked towards his body. He was feeling well, but it was not a dream. After all, his shirt was, you can say, torn apart and blood was still present there. As he looked towards his body, suddenly he felt a feeling, that feeling of, you can say, always being tired, the feeling of paleness on his skin. It was gone. As he looked towards his body, he was feeling powerful. No words could describe how powerful he felt. He felt something deep under his skin. But he had to leave here as soon as possible. So he ran. wondering what was actually going on, not knowing that his destiny is forever changed, or rather, he has finally awoken his destiny, as one of the forces in the universe has chosen him as his heir. And now, let us have a, you can say, time skip. Naruto decided to, you can say, in this timescape, Naruto decided to go to the academy nonetheless, even though his parents did not like that, but they couldn't stop him, thinking that when he will realize that he's not strong enough to be a shinobi, he will leave on his own. And when he realized the demanding life of the shinobi is above him, as his siblings once again mocked him, but Naruto always looked towards them and gave them a smirk. First, they thought that it was creepy, but now they really started to fear him. Naruto Uzumaki was one of the most feared name across the shinobi village of Konoha, and it would be a bit of strange, but he was a 12-year-old kid, but yet he was scared. He was feared by especially the civilian members of the village. Naruto has finally realized that his condition has gone better, and he started to realize something. Flashback for Naruto. 1 week after the incident where Naruto has finally awoken the power of destruction, as Naruto was going through the alleyways once again, he has gotten a bit late after seeing that how his body has miraculously healed. He was training to get stronger, and he was, you can say, doing push ups and things like that so that he could improve his body. But something was wrong. He was not getting any stronger. Like those push ups and all of that was not actually working for him. Something was wrong with his body. He had to figure out as soon as possible. Maybe he should try some chakra exercises. After all, his father was pretty careless. He could enter into the library, the shinobi library present in the compound, and could be used some things for that. He scoffed at the thought of father, as after when he but he suddenly realized that some power, some signatures were following him. As he looked back, he felt strange. That did not felt like chakra. After all, he had yet to awaken his own chakra. After all, he was only 8 years old who has yet to start his training, but that felt like life. He could feel souls present within the body of a person. So no matter what they could actually do, no matter what technique a shinobi or a enemy were to use, he could always sense the souls of the persons, as his connection to destruction allows him that the body and the soul. As he finally looked back, I already know that you are there, so why don't you come out? As Naruto decided to speak up, after all, what could, you can say, worst could happen? He was still around the more crowdy areas of the street, so he did not want to go down into the more street area. As there was silence for some time, but suddenly two signatures suddenly appeared in front of him, as they were none other than the Uchihas, as their Sharingan activated two Tomo in one eye and three Tomo in the other. The other guy, who was a bit shorter, had two Tomos in both eyes. As he glared towards Naruto, "You demon, we have much to discuss. Follow us." As Naruto glared back towards him, and why should I do that? As the Uchiha glared towards him, as he looked directly into the eyes of Naruto and tried to put him in a Genjutsu so that he could follow him. But suddenly something strange happened. His connection, when his chakra tried to enter in Naruto's body, something felt something strange, as if his chakra suddenly disappeared into nothingness, into utter destruction. Genjutsu appears when a person puts chakra into another body and thus control him through that chakra, or try to change his perception of the reality. That's how, you can say, Genjutsu work. But in Naruto's condition, when chakra of another person enters into his body, it means the energy of destruction. And you know, when you meet the destruction, you suddenly disappear. So the Genjutsu will never ever work against Naruto, as the Uchiha was confused as he glared towards him. He figured he was a demon, so it must be the explanation he thought in his mind as he glared towards Naruto, our brother, Kenji. He was the one who had led the mob last week against you. He has disappeared into nowhere. We have tried to find him, but we are unable to find him. So we know that you have done something to him, demon. So speak up. We know that you have something to do with all those people disappeared that last week ago. As Naruto was now confused, he remembered something vaguely happened He remember all those people attacking him, especially the person they were talking about, Kenji Uchiha, that damn bastard who was the one who put him in a genjutsu to push him into that alleyway so that the other shinobis could actually beat him as he glared towards them. I do not know what you're talking about. As the Uchiha glared towards him, his Sharingan spinning, the other Uchiha decided to speak up. Well, demon, we are giving you a choice here. Either you tell us or we will have to, you can say, get that information by force, demon. As Naruto glared towards him, and what are you exactly going to do? As the Uchiha smirked, well, I was hoping you would say that as he vanished suddenly and tried to appear in front of Naruto, but to Naruto, as Naruto tried to get his position, suddenly something strange started to happen to Naruto. The world around him started to slow down as suddenly he felt the person, the Uchiha, coming towards him with his fist raised, ready to punch him to his face. But the world around him was so slow as he suddenly moved outside of the range of the fist. As the Uchiha was surprised, the demon brat had somehow dodged him as he grated his teeth. Huh, figures the demon is finally showing his true colors as he started to attack him again, punch after punch, kick after kick. But to his utter shock, Naruto was dodging all of these attacks like they were nothing, as Naruto himself was at utter shock, as this has never happened to him, as if his body was reacting on its own. The world around him was so slow that attacks were coming, he could see them miles away. And to his utter shock, his body was reacting to it as well. He was literally dancing around the attacks of this Uchiha, as the Uchiha was now getting angrier and angrier as he said enough, as he quickly go through hand sign, fast style, great fireball jutsu, as he released a fireball against Naruto, as Naruto was now shocked. That attack was coming towards him with impressive speed, as he, you can say, wanted to run away from there. He started to panic, and his power decided to react to his panic state as Naruto completely forgot that he could easily walk away from the attack, seeing that the world around him was so slow. But when he saw the fire, he suddenly reacted to it in a panic state. But his energy reacted to that. Suddenly, a purplish aura started to surround his body as Naruto closes his eyes and put his hand in front of his face. The fireball collided with him, but to both Uchiha's utter shock, the purplish energy surrounded Naruto, and just like that, the fire literally disintegrated into nothingness. As Naruto simply looked towards his body, it was coated within dark purple energy. Just like Topo in the Tournament of Power when he surrounded himself with the Hakai energy, the attacks of 17 and Gohan and Frieza became nothing. They literally disintegrated into nothingness when they touched his body. Same is the case here with Naruto. As Naruto simply looked towards his hand, suddenly the flashes started to come back to him when he awoken this power, and the word he said, Hakai, destruction. As he looked towards them, his eyes literally glowing, the anger started to come to his face. He remembered the feeling, the desire to utterly destroy them. As he looked towards them, as both Uchihas took a step back in utter fear, wondering what kind of feeling this was. It was the feeling of finality, of their own destruction, of their own end. As Naruto looked toward them, as a sinister smirk came to his face, he was somehow always changed whenever he tapped into this power. This sadistic nature comes out. As Naruto said, well, I'm still waiting for that lesson, Uchiha. As the other Uchiha came to attention who was attacking him earlier and suddenly became angry. You think that we are scared of this power of yours, demon? You're finally showing your true colors. So it's about time that we show you. But before he could complete his rant, as Naruto was in front of him with his palm extended, you talk too much, Hakai. As suddenly the energy engulfed the little Uchiha as he screamed on top of his lungs. But not to be, he's literally disintegrated into nothingness as the other Uchiha took a step back. You killed my brother! As his eye started to spin. Another Tomo came to his eye as he screamed on top of his lung and ran towards Naruto, as Naruto did not have time for this, as he vanished from the eyes of the Uchiha as the fist slammed into his gut, the point where Naruto put his face as the energy latched on to the Uchiha, who screamed at the top of his lung as to at least try to scream, but no screams came out of his lungs as he was literally floating within mid-air. By that point where the energy of Naruto made contact, it started to disintegrate as he tried to scream, tried to get some help, but nothing. The you can say he simply disappeared. That energy engulfed his body completely as he vanishes into nothingness. As Naruto looked towards his hands, toward this energy, as he grated his teeth, as a smirk came to his face. Now this is what I wanted. As he suddenly had a, you can say, instinct knowledge of this power, the power to destroy anything and everything present in this world. As the council was not exactly happy as Minato was trying to figure out what could have happened that so many shinobis has gone missing as well as some of the civilian members as well. Of course the civilian council member tried to blame it on Naruto, but Minato put his hand down. He did not want to put all the blame on Naruto. Who knows, some other shinobi like Orochimaru could have infiltrated the village and tried to kidnap them. After all, he was the Hokage, he had a duty to his village. He had to protect them against real threats, not like put all the blame on Naruto and all that. Who knows what the real criminal could have been doing at that point. So, he put his, you can say, foot down at that point. And the civilian council members were not happy that he was voting his son, but Minato reminded them that they have to find real criminal here. They already were taking their revenge on Naruto. There was literally no point to put all the blame on him anymore, as they had to agree to that point. After all, as much they hated the demon brat, he was only a 8-year-old kid at this point. But from that day, Naruto's transformation began. He realized that he simply could not, you can say, erase them, but there were other aspects. After all, the shinobis and the civilians of Konoha were so eager to volunteer themselves against Naruto for his practice to control his new power of Hakai, the power of destruction. So, he was more than happy to entertain them, and just like that, after many trial and error, of course, Naruto finally figured out how to control his power, how to delay destruction, how to control destruction, and all that. After many, you can say, volunteering from the, you can say, the people of Konoha, Naruto was now had complete, well, not complete, of course, but a great control over his power of destruction. He realized how he could actually enhance his power. There was literally no need for training his body, though he had to train them in instinct, but there was no need for, you can say, strength training. His power of destruction provide that at a great amount. All he really had to do was to control it. So, without, you can say, when Naruto punches someone by using the power of destruction, they simply disappear. So Naruto had to control his power, how he could actually only use the power of destruction to only enhance his power far greater than the strength of Tsunade if he were to push it really, but not like, completely destroy them with a single punch. After all, he would have many missions in the future for that, and he had many plans for the future. After all, he does want his revenge on this god accursed village, right? So he had many plans for them, and he simply did not wanted them to just disappear with a single punch. Where would the fun would there actually be? So he began to train and he started to retaliate whenever the civilians, when Naruto was 10-year old, another mob decided to try their luck to pursue him to leave the shinobi career by breaking his legs permanently. But it did not go well for him as Naruto broke many bones in their body as Minato was literally shocked when he saw 20 civilians. Many of them were like 25, 30-year old, had their bones broken, and he was literally shocked as he decided to summon Naruto into his office as flashback as he looked towards Naruto as he said, well Naruto, you realize that why you are here, right? As Jiraiya and Tsunade and Kushina were present there, of course they were hiding as Minato looked towards Naruto with a stern glare as Naruto looked towards him with a bored expression. I don't know. Maybe you wanted to talk about the weather, Hokage-sama. As Minato grated his teeth, as Naruto, I'm talking to you. In this year, Naruto has started to get ruder and ruder, ignoring his sibling. Whenever they mock him, he simply gave them a smile, and it turned into a sinister smile. And you can say it started to scare off. You can say Menma and Naruto really. They started to think of him as a creep. Before, they thought of him only a loser, but now they think of him as a creep. And for some reason, there was always a feeling in their gut to, you can say, avoid him as much as they possible. And they were really scared of him after a incident that happened in the academy. Though they never will admit it and try to show bravado in front of everyone. But anyways, as Naruto looked towards him with a shrug, as he said, "What are you talking about, Lord Hokage?" As Minato grated his teeth, as he said, "Naruto, why did you put all those civilians in the hospital? Do you not realize what the civilian council member will try to do with you?" As Naruto looked towards them, "Oh really now? And where's the proof, Lord Hokage? That I was the one who put them in the hospital," as Minato said. "They admitted that." As Naruto raised an eyebrow, "Oh really now? And who are these people? Are you really saying that me, only a 10-year-old kid, was able to beat down 25, 30 people at 20 to 30-year-old age? I know that I'm training as a shinobi, but you and I both know that our training is not even begin at this point. We are mainly studying the history of Konoha. And if you're really saying that I'm strong enough, then you should allow me to graduate already." As Minato realized that, as he said, "Oh really now?" As he said, as he gave a signal as the arm would bring a, you can say, person inside of the room, as it was one of the patients which Naruto beat down to the ground. As Minato looked towards him, well, he's the one who has given. He will be the one to tell us what actually happened. As Naruto really as looked towards him by moving his body, and now his back was looking towards Minato as he looked towards the person who was now looking towards them, towards Naruto in utter fear. As Naruto looked towards her, so you're the one who's saying that. So look at me clearly and tell everyone present here at this Jiraiya Tsunade Kushina was surprised that he was able to sense them. Well, not them. So they thought that he must be talking about the hidden Ambu. Yeah. So, are you saying that I am the one who has beaten each and every person there? Are you sure? Or will it be the case that you were all simply drunk and so decided to beat each other around and must have thought that it would be fun to blame the demon brat for that, right? At this, Minato flinched a little at the word demon brat. Right as Naruto looked towards him, as his eyes flashed purple for a moment, as the person gulped a little, as he started to nod frantically, as he looked towards the Hokage. "Yeah, Hokage-sama, we were drinking, and yeah, we started to fight each other. We must be hallucinating about your son. Yeah, that must be the case. I should leave for the hospital." As he opened the door and ran for his life, as Minato was literally shocked. As Naruto looked towards him, "Well, Hokage-sama, as you can see that the council could not do much about it after all. They were only drinking and decided to pick a fight among each other. It happens when they drink a lot. Maybe you should check the company which makes the whole alcohol. I never liked it much." At this, you can say Minato flinched a little as he said, "Alright, you could actually leave." With the, you can say, serious look on his eyes, as Naruto simply shrugged, as he gave a mock salute and started to walk away. As after Naruto left, Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Kushina came out of the hiding. As Jiraiya whistled as he said, "Well, Minato, I must say that the kid must be scaring if that person literally changed his statement like that." As Tsunade nodded as he said, "I'm really surprised, Minato. Somehow he has made a remarkable recovery from his, you can say, illness when he was just a kid. I must say, that is really impressive." As Kushina was now thinking as she looked towards Minato, "Minato, what about the council? Can you do something about it? You know that it has already been 10 years." As Minato sighed, "I don't know, Kushina. I really do not know." Flashback ends. But Hey guys, there we love this part. Hope you guys enjoyed it. In the next part, we will see the graduation and some incidents in the academy and many other things. So yeah, guys, it is going to be pretty OP and really interesting series. So hopefully you guys will like it. If you guys have some ideas, please tell me in the comment section. I will think about it, and who knows, I might put your ideas in the use as well. So yeah, guys, tell me in the comment section. For the next part, the like goal is going to be 200 likes, 80 comments, and specially guide comments. So do comment. It would be helpful. So yeah, guys. See you in the next part and stay tuned for the what if Naruto was, you can say, neglected and had the power of Jiren. And yeah, guys, I have put the link of my Instagram and the link of my other channel within the description below. So please follow and subscribe to the channel. Peace.